May 19th, 2022. Hello, everyone. Today is May 19th, 2022. The time is 5:02 p.m. and the meeting of the KIPP Texas Executive Committee is now called to order. I'm Gene Austin, Chairman of the KIPP Texas Board of Directors. I am presiding in person over this meeting in Houston, Texas. The meeting is being recorded. Committee members present today by video are Gretchen Miller, please acknowledge yourself.
Here.
Kent Wallace.
Here.
Myself, Gene Austin. For the record, we do not have a quorum, but we will continue with information for information purposes. I would like to welcome the KIPP Texas staff that are here: Seba Ali, CEO; Vanessa Berry, Chief Operating Officer; and Marie Allen, Senior Executive Assistant. Also, Ellen Spalding, Legal Counsel, our outside legal counsel. First item on the agenda is we want to take a look at the board deck for this the board agenda for the June 15th board meeting.
Okay, great. Well, this is still pretty drafty, but I'm going to walk y'all through and would love your high-level thoughts while we're still working out some of the details. And just appreciate your grace because Cicely had lost a family member this week. And so Marie, she's out, and Marie and I are trying to make the agendas work. So we'll do the best we can. So the June board meeting is a time when we will be both electing new board members, electing officers, and we always invite our new board members, even though they haven't been elected yet, to join us at the meeting because we review the budget and we think it's just a really good launch to the next year. It's a good orientation to the next year. So that's our plan this time too. The meeting will be live in person in San Antonio, and we'll be celebrating Bill Mall. It's his last board meeting at the end. So we'll start with a mission moment, as we always do, in a welcome and then public comment. My CEO report, as it has been for the last couple board meetings, will really focus on our T2 shared goals that we've identified around student performance, student attendance and enrollment, and staff retention and engagement. And so we'll provide a progress up-to-date update against those goals. And Daphne will also talk a little bit about, our kind of where we are with STAR testing and accountability. We won't have very many results back by then, so she won't give a full presentation, but she can just give you a sense of what she's seeing in the data so far. And then I think I was talking to Jean about how I thought it would be helpful to do something I did for our internal leadership team yesterday, which was really, as we enter year 5 of KIPP Texas, remind people of the history of KIPP Texas over the last 4 years and some of the things that we've won on and some of the challenges we faced. Also remind people about our annual priorities that we went over in the all boards meeting for year 5. And then give people a quick look into the future beyond year 5. And so I'll spend about 20 minutes doing that. After that, we'll have an ESSER update where we will go through really our results for year 1. How many people did we hire? What did we see in terms of academic gains? What did we learn during year 1 of implementation of ESSER? How much money did we spend compared to how much we thought we would spend? And then we'll share our plan and the adjustments we've made for year 2 and year 3 accordingly. We'll go into a SHAC report, which is mandatory during this June board meeting. We do it every year. It'll be a quick report from Daphne on what we're doing around school health, what our priorities are. And then we will talk through and ask for board approval on the right-sized Rise Together campaign that Anne has been working on now for a while and has talked to the board about several times. From there, we'll go into our budget. We'll, make final adjustments for the FY22 budget and capital budget, the operating and capital budget. We'll do the budget approval for FY23, the first budget approval, both from an operating and capital budget standpoint. And so we'll do an in-depth discussion of those budgets, do a full finance update, and then ask for approval on the budgets. Any questions, thoughts, pushes so far?
Not from me.
Okay, from there, we'll go into executive session. Executive session will be pretty packed and we'll need to stay on time. We'll do a governance work group update with Darla, where we'll discuss our new board members. They will not be invited to this part of the meeting. So we'll ask them to step out. We'll discuss any questions we have on them. We'll have sent the material on all new board members beforehand. We're waiting to interview one last nominee before we stamp our recommendation to the board. So we'll do that, and then we'll discuss the vice chair nominee. We'll also discuss our property and casualty insurance, because this is the board meeting annually where we approve insurance. We'll talk about executive compensation for the chiefs and regional superintendents. And then we'll discuss a personnel matter, which we'll go into detail during executive session on today. After executive session, we'll do the actual votes on the new board members and the officers. We'll vote on our student handbook, where Ellen will highlight any changes for you. We update that every year and get it in full board approved, just best practice. And then we'll do our consent agenda. And you can see the early items on the consent agenda. My hunch is there'll be more, but these are the early items, primarily focused on non-expansion amendments to the TEA, things that we have to routinely do around locations and updating zip codes, that kind of thing, zip code boundaries. We'll ask for approval for the WilmerHale Law Firm. And then we'll ask to include Joe Heichel, who's the Deputy Chief of Finance, as a signatory on our bank account. And we'll ask for you all to approve the Amplify curriculum. So that's what we have so far. And then we'll give some gratitude to Bill Mall, and we'll end the board meeting. We'll have a dinner the night before in San Antonio, so that'll just be, again, a nice time for the board and T2 to come together in community.
Any questions?
Not for me. Sounds great.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Seba.
You're welcome.
Okay, now the time is 5:11, and we are going to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with board attorney regarding all matters as authorized by law, and Texas Government Code 551.074, deliberation regarding appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment, duties, dismissal of employees / officers, including the Texas executive team and board members. And finally, Texas Government Code 551.072, deliberate purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We will return to this link at the conclusion of executive session. So we have another link to go to for executive session, and we will turn off the recording, and I will see you all on the other link.
Thank you.
Turn on the recording. Great, thank you. Okay, all, it is, we're back in open session. The time is 5:52 p.m. and I am adjourning the executive committee. Thank you all very much. And we will speak again soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks.